kina ndade wa ngwana wa Primrose, papa wa Primrose, Primrose le ba mtlwaetse ba re ke Primrose. Mara lina la ha ki Happy. So Happy kina ndade wa teng, Happy na pila ko Cape Town. Efitile December king kwedi ya birthday. Eli mafela jara bona gore ki sanze ki etele o enjoy le dichomise dingwe but dichomise ha ba easy ko Nigeria. O fitile ko teng ko Nigeria re uta fela khanya gore ngwana rona o tlhokofetse. O no sere ke malaria. O tlhokofetse ano rona le batho ba batona le mo pension ke khona a dina bokgoni ke pensioner ha go ta fo a go ngwana go tlhokofetse khagala ke alla a do kiese ya ke go patusa o bueno tata ya for the jiro te kap akisi akina silo senga bua mari so ke ona ke re sorry ka botlo thata ngwana ndase burata all the time daddy what you want daddy how I can help you sorry but kona no go utlaka money utlaka ngwana wa 10 years there's everything for ngwana wa ha a ba da silo sa ngwana re fonela everything da romela for ngwana wano tlhokofetse khakala ko Nigeria go ya Nigeria ke bokae umtsa from Nigeria tla ka kwano ke re kopa ngwana re tuse go re ngwana a temola peng kono yo mpe ya ko ntlo ya bofelo re bona gore ke yena tota.
Hello everyone, welcome to Goss According to CD. South Africans, what is the color of your problem? What is the color of your problem? Because I've been avoiding this story with everything that I've got in my body. You know why? Because I know it was going to rattle me up. Not only is it going to rattle me up, but it's going to sound as if I'm insensitive towards the Vale family when I'm very sympathetic and empathetic. The way her father was crying when I was watching the videos, it touched me. But I am finding it very difficult to believe that Happy Primrose Vale died of malaria. Now, as a person who has traveled West Africa, let me tell you one thing or two, that you are not allowed as a South African citizen or any other citizen in the world when you enter West Africa. Whether you're entering Ghana, whether you're entering Ivory Coast, Senegal, Benin, Nigeria, including Cameroon, and a lot of African countries. Before you travel to these countries or one of those countries, you need to visit the travel clinic. There's the British travel clinic in Sandton that you could go to. In Cape Town, there's another travel clinic that you should go to. Or you can go to your GP. And guess what you are going to do there when you get there? To get a yellow fever shot. Secondly, you are also going to get malaria shot. And thirdly, your doctor will give you malaria pills that you are going to drink exactly the way you will drink PrEP. Right? That is every day. So that if mosquito lands on your skin, you are comfortable enough to know that vaccine is doing its job and it's going to protect you so that you do not come back on your back to South Africa and having to beg South Africans to raise a whole 90,000 rand to bring you back home as a corpse. So I don't believe that Miss Vale died of malaria. Miss Vale, from all the reports that we've been hearing about South African girls, some of whom are even referred to as Jolofinas. You know why they are referred as Jolofinas? Because they would not date a South African man. Ooh, I'm a South African man. Never. I like Nigerian men. Oh, Nigerian man. Kunjani magunje. And I'm not saying Miss Vale, she was that type, but you are looking at the lifestyle that she was living with her boyfriend, I think by the name of Emmanuel. let's read some of, I think I'm going to post some of these screenshots that I've taken from that video. Right? Yeah, it's some Emmanuel guy who lives a lap of luxury lifestyle in Nigeria. And she was going to visit him for the Christmas and New Year period. And she did not see New Year's because she died of malaria on the 28th of December 2024. I don't believe that for 1 second. This man, I think he lured her, or maybe worst case scenario, she was kidnapped. But then again, how do you go through customs? You go through all of these gates in the airport without anybody detecting that you may be going where you're going against your will. Okay, let's say she was lied to, like how they lie to them when they become drug mules, right? Let's say, yeah, indeed, Mr. Emmanuel was showing his lifestyle on Instagram and she was like, oh, wow, I want to go there and live this lifestyle, maybe just for a 2-week period and then come back to Cape Town and continue my life, right? It's like how, you know the joke about the devil in the heaven and hell, where when you die, first, you have to take these 2 trips. One trip is to hell, the other trip is to heaven. And the first trip is to hell, where when you enter, everything looks beautiful. You have a mansion, you have a yacht, you have a Rolls Royce, you have servants. Everything is just fine and dandy, and you can get bums at any given time you want to. And then after you are done with that excursion, then you are taken to the heaven excursion. There, you come across clouds and people singing hymns. A little boring. And then at the end, at the pearly gates, then Paul asks you, so between these 2 places where you would like to go to, and then you're like, oh, I want to go to hell, because there it was pumping. With no hesitation, you're put in an elevator, down you go. And when the elevator doors open, yeah, it is people that are screaming from agony with fire all over, like burning sulfuric fire all over them. And then they ask the devil, so hey, when I came here not so long ago, I saw something totally different. And the devil looks at this gentleman and says, have you ever heard of marketing before? So it sounds something like that to me, what happened to Promise Valley. She may have been shown glitz and glam, and because maybe she likes glitz and glam, or maybe she thought, oh my goodness, finally, I get to get a man who's going to treat me right. And I've heard of these Nigerian men treating they South African girls like queens. And then you leave your comfort zone where you can turn around and run back home, because the father whom I am seeing on videos seems like a very nice man who did all he could with his wife to raise or promise to be an upstanding member of society. This girl may have gone to Nigeria against her own will, because I don't think she had the yellow fever certificate attached to her passport. And secondly, I don't think she had the malaria shots either. That is, if she did indeed die from malaria. I don't believe that. I think when she got there, she resisted being one of those South African girls who can no longer come back home because they are paying off one debt or another. From what I hear, it is the turkey action on their backside. Mara, do you guys see what you are putting yourselves through? Same thing here in South Africa. Similar women tell us South African men, we are useless, hey, what? They marry them. Next thing, they create TikTok videos asking us to help them. Tina, the useless ones. Finally, donate. Oh, sister, I don't understand. Emmanuel was living a lavish lifestyle. You telling me he can't take out 90,000 rand, put Happy's body in a plane and bring it back home? No, because he doesn't give a rat's tail about her, never did and never will. Now he's busy. Probably there's another South African gullible girl on a plane as we speak and also going to land in Nigeria and may even end up exactly like promise. When are you going to learn? These people are heartless. Heartless. The devil itself in a human form. That is what I believe. Mr. Vale, I am so sorry for you, but I'm going to be honest with you. Not a cent of mine is going to go to your daughter being brought back to South Africa. This I am saying so that other women that are thinking this way stop themselves. Because if we are going to dig deep into our pockets, these are the ones that are gullible. They'll say, oh, bazongibuyisa vela, my South Africans will not lahla mi ngoba ukho umgqomo kulahla umuntu. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be doing it. I'm not going to be doing it. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for your grandchild that is now without a mother. She should have thought about it first. And I'm not falsely accusing her. We've seen videos on the internet, sir, where South African men are being mocked by South African women to impress their Nigerian boyfriends who take them to Nigeria and turn them not into humans and lovers, but into sex slaves. They get sold. So I think your daughter resisted. And as a result of resistance, this is how she finds herself. Because I can tell you, as the sun will rise tomorrow, her autopsy will be singing a different tune. Not a trace of malaria is going to be found in her system. That is, if she did take a yellow fever shot, because you cannot enter any West African country without the yellow fever certificate and malaria. You cannot. You'll be returned home. But then again, we are dealing here with Nigerians. You know how they have connections with everybody in the high places. So who knows how she actually got into Nigeria without her malaria pills and a malaria shot. To this day, the yellow fever shot lasts in your system for 10 years. I did mine about 3 years ago, so I still have 7 years of yellow fever in my system. And if a mosquito tries it, which they don't, then and then I drop and I'm gone, then that was not malaria vaccination that I got. So I'm sorry. My family is not donating anything. I am terribly sorry. But I wish you all the best, sir, and that she be brought back home safely. And hopefully this also be a lesson to South African women and girls that think that when you are invited to Nigeria, you are invited to a palace and you're going to live your life like a princess. They don't give a fuck about you. That much I can tell you. You will also come back on your back asking South Africans, the very nation that you mock, to bring you back home on your back. I'm sorry, guys. That is why I was avoiding this story, because I know some people are going to feel like, CD, you are being cold. Yes, I am being cold. Especially with this one. I'm so sorry. We are still going to hear more of these stories. And I do suspect there are more other stories like these ones, that we have not heard of. Those girls have been buried in Nigeria. Their families don't even know there are no more. There are no more. So come on, guys. Be fair on South Africans. Be fair on South Africans, please. Other than that, guys, ciao.